Good morning. It's Sunday morning for me. Well, yeah, Sunday morning still. Um, I did a short on the parable of the sower, and we're going to talk about that real quick because on its face, it can be kind of confusing, honestly. The parable sower, I have it up here, comes from, you can find it in the 13th chapter of Matthew. It literally is the first parable in that chapter. I'll read it real quick to you. 13:1, Matthew 13:1. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such a large crowd gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it. While all the people stood on the shore, he then told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went out to sow his seed. And he was scattering the seeds. Some fell on the path, and the birds ate it up. Some fell on the rocky places, where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow, but when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seeds fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still, some seeds fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 160 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. Now, just so you know, the very next verses after that, the disciples are like, why are you speaking in parables? Because, what does that mean? Well, it means many things, both to us, the seeds, and it means also something to the soil, us, the soil. So, when you want to think about this in the terms of having faith, being a new Christian, the world is the path. The world is the thorns. So that can be kind of depressing because, new Christians fall on the path. They fall into the thorns and they get crushed, choked, eaten by birds. They never get a chance to grow. And then some fall on good soil and explode in their bounty. It seems kind of random, doesn't it? Seems kind of unfair. Well, if you're the seed and you have found God, you have found Christ, and you're all hype, trust me, when this happens, you're on fire. But you need to find your good soil. So, when I was in active ministry, a lot of times us mainline clergy would rather derogatorily refer to non-denominational churches as a revolving door, that people were coming in on fire and just as quickly they were leaving because those churches had no root. And a reason I say we said that rather arrogantly is because in our arrogance, we assumed that only us mainline denominations have the deep soil of 2,000 years of Christian tradition. the deep thinking of all our theologians. The arrogance is we don't think that a pastor or leadership in a non-denominational church cannot or does not take advantage of that 2,000 years of knowledge and study. Of course they do. But many churches don't. They open because the pastor became saved and they're on fire to spread the word. And all of they've really studied is just the Bible. And they don't really know what they're studying and how they need to study it because they don't have that depth of education and they don't yet have that depth of 2,000 years of knowledge. So there are churches where the soil is shallow. But we're not seeds that can't walk. We are people. So it's incumbent on us to find deep soil so we can thrive. It's incumbent on us to pull ourselves a little out of the world so the thorns don't choke us out. Now we're going to talk about us, the soil. The way I talk to people when they are questioning or they're agnostic, they don't have faith, but they're questioning, is I do not get in their face and preach salvation and just constantly preach at them. We need to be deep, healthy soil for them. And the way, in my opinion, we do that is we just be there as a silent companion, to be there for them when they need a shoulder to lean on, to be there for them when they're walking through a tough time, and to be there when they question, to answer those questions. You will save more people by just being there for them and be absolutely steadfast for them and be absolutely loving to them as they struggle and begin their journey. I know we all like to think that being saved is an instant moment. It is not. Any of us that are honest with ourselves know this journey is long, this journey is deep, this journey has its hills and its valleys. And if you are deep enough in your faith, strong enough in your faith, be there for that new person because you already know this is not a flash in the pan, instant, you're saved, everything is hunky-dory. It doesn't work that way. So us Christians need to be the good soil so that those seeds planted in a person's soul can bloom and become a crop overflowing. So that's really what that parable means. It's a simple parable, but it basically means, look, The word is told. The word is received. But sometimes it has a problem growing in the person's heart, becoming stronger in the person's heart, because the world is full of thorns. The world is rocky path, shallow soil. And we need that deep, healthy soil to grow in our faith, to become closer to God. Because if we don't have it, it won't last. So for all of us Christians that are matured Christians, be the deep soil. And we will, as we have, again, change the world and make it a far better place than it is even now. Be the deep soil. Seek the deep soil. Have a blessed Sunday. One thing I forgot to mention, a good book to give you an idea of what it means to be a Christian and how you interact with others is this book, Messy Spirituality by Michael Yaconelli. Unfortunately, he was killed in an auto accident quite a few years ago, but this man understood what it meant to be a Christian. This is a great book. And if you're a new Christian, I recommend this book. I recommend this book to everyone, actually.